There's a tradition of winning for Wyoming's women's basketball team. They've seen the highest of highs, like back in 2007 when the Cowgirls won the women's NIT.
Joe Legursky, the first crowds were 200, now they're 15,000. And a first ever WNIT championship.
Our players would come out to shoot an hour ahead of time and the place was packed. It just really an atmosphere that we'll probably never be able to duplicate, but it's something that you'll always remember. I walk in here some days and I look around at this facility now and think we had every seat in here. It was a hot ticket. Everybody wanted to be a part of it, and the atmosphere was just electric, and our players knew they were going to win.
Now Wyoming head coach Joe Legursky and his program is at the other end of the spectrum, playing in a difficult league with very little senior leadership and even less experience. It wasn't supposed to be like this.
When you have juniors and seniors, they understand how to play. They've been through the battles. They've seen just a little of everything. It makes it easier as a coach.
Here's what the Cowgirls have lost. 6 players who saw significant time on the floor last season. 4 seniors, including 2011 Mountain West Conference Player of the Year, Aubrey Vandiver.
Vandiver, the step back 3.
From a numbers standpoint, the Cowgirls lost 57 points per game, 27.3 rebounds, and 13.3 assists. For some teams in the Mountain West Conference, that's a game's worth of stats. And now the Cowgirls have to find a way to make up those numbers with a roster that includes no seniors, 3 juniors, 2 sophomores, and 6 freshmen. It's been a process.
We're teaching every day, but sometimes you have to reteach, and then you reteach again. And you talk to them about that we've gone through this, but they don't recognize the situation. They haven't seen it enough times, and that's where we're at. We have basically 2 players that have played, Chandra Sewell and Ashley Sickles, and then it's a new cast.
It's been rough. Every day's a learning experience for us. It's hard to be so young, but at least we're getting better every day.
It's a lot different being one of the upperclassmen now and having so many newcomers. You have to help them out. If they're doing something wrong, kind of help them, push them in the right direction. But I think they're coming along really well. They're taking what we tell them and taking what the coaches have told them. And, I think they're doing well. I think it's going good.
Chandra and Ashley have had to make adjustments, going from role players on a good team to leaders on a very young team. But they're not the only ones reworking how they do things on the court.
So we have to figure out what may be the 2 or 3 base things we're going to see from an opponent, because that's all we can give them. We got to make sure we don't overload them and give them so much, and then we have to make sure we do the reps. We have to go through more reps just to make sure they understand, and then you hope that the atmosphere of the game doesn't get to them and all of a sudden they don't see things again.
But this young team is starting to reap the benefits from all those reps. They've won 2 of their first 3 conference matchups, and that has built up some confidence. But the coach is keeping it all in perspective while keeping his eye on the light at the end of the tunnel.
Everybody says, well, do you take a step forward and a step back? Sometimes we take a step forward and 2 steps back. And so we have to just continue knowing that we're going to be better in December than we were in November. We're going to be better in January and February, and hopefully we're playing our best in March. What I do know, we're going to be better next season because of what we're living through this year.